Good morning. I hope you're doing well. May you live in interesting times, I think is an old proverb, and that's exactly what we're going through right now. It's complicated times. It's different than we've ever experienced before. And what I wanted to share today was information that is very helpful to me in moving forward through all of this. And that's what I called it. I said the most important awakening tool is the term self-responsibility. So self-responsibility is probably also the hardest one, because you must undertake the principle that everything happens for us, not everything happens to us. It's a very important step in stepping out of our victim mentality. Thank you, Neptune. I appreciate it. And I hope well for you as well. So this is one that's going to be really hard, because we're taught to be victims to what's going on, and it's purposely done because it takes our power away. When we think somebody's bigger, badder, worse than us, hurting us, harming us, causing suffering, etc., we kind of place those people, those things in a state that gives them power over us. And right now we're digging out from underneath, having others have power over us. So we're now going into self-responsibility. So the term self-responsibility basically means no matter what happens, how it's going, how bad it feels, etc., we take responsibility for it. And that's going to be a big step for a lot of people, because we're like, oh, I can't change that. I can't change the government. I can't change whatever. Even if you can't change it, taking some responsibility and say, okay, this is serving me in some way. And it may not even be serving you. It may be serving the collective. It may be serving a higher good. But just saying that we are in some way able to take responsibility for it. It's the first step in releasing victimhood. It's the first step in taking our power back. It's the first step in starting to heal. Self-responsibility is a massive, massive thing within ourselves when we can go inside and look at things that are going on that may not to be our favor, or may not look good, feel good in our body, may feel like harm, attacks, etc. If we can go inside and just start to observe, that's the first step. And once we start to observe it, we start to get power over it. Why is this happening? Start asking questions. Stop being in fear and start being in just observance. Breathing. Starting to accept that this is happening. The biggest issue in human life right now is struggle. And struggle, and we'll talk about shadow work in a second, but struggle is basically the resistance to what is. And it's kind of hilarious once you start to look at it, to resist what is, because it's an impossible situation. It's like trying to go back in time when you don't have the ability to go back in time. So to go back and say, hey, I wish this didn't happen, or I didn't go down that dark alley, or I didn't do these things, boom, we're kind of like locked. We can't change any of it, and we're kind of screwed in that moment. And then we're a victim to what happened. We're a victim to a past choice. We're a victim to all these things, and it hides in our shadow, as Neptune just mentioned. That shadow is in a lot of times an unhealed or in fear little boy or little girl part or facet of us that got victimized, got attacked, got raped, got assaulted, whatever. There's a million different things that this can happen, and that child part of us is curled up in the corner because nobody would listen to them, or it happened at such a young age and nobody was there to support them. A lot of times that trauma energy is trapped like a bubble inside of our system, and it's now turned us off. It's smashed us and it's made us not able to take power back. So self-responsibility is the first step. We are now, most of us listening probably to this are in our adult self. That inner child is a part of us. So think of that inner child as somebody that's hiding under the bed, and it's a facet of you. It is no longer capable or able to deal with current reality or current life. So a part of us gets turned off. It hides in the corner. It's hiding in the shadow. And it's our responsibility and self-responsibility now as our adult self that can be a protector, that can carry a sword, that can say no, that can switch back. We are our medicine for that little child. So a lot of times it's like kind of looking under the bed and looking for our little child that's under there with a dirty, sooty face all covered in mud and angry and scared and doesn't know how to trust anyone. And once you can start to kind of get them out, sit with them and relax and listen and hear them cry and hear them feel sad and hear them feel uncomfortable, then the magic begins. And as Neptune says, yes, calling our power back, learning to forgive ourselves. It's amazing. That inner child was thinking with a child's experience or with what our parents programmed us with. And sometimes those parents were trying to protect us with love, saying, don't do that, don't speak too loud, don't speak up, don't all these things. And at these young ages, it shuts off our throat chakras, it shuts off certain parts of our body, it turns us against sexuality, our religion, a million things that happened as a child will play out. Now, we have to also be aware that we chose all these things. Before we came as a part of God, and to fragment ourselves and to have an experience as a human being, to learn these really strong lessons, to grow and find ourselves. So sometimes we asked for some really awful things. We had soul contracts with other people to shut us down and shrink us early on, or else if we stayed in our power as our God self from our childhood, we couldn't have these experiences. We would have created a completely different world. The humanity that is now wouldn't have had these dark, heavy experiences to climb out from, to build a new purity, to build new safety, new structures that we're all needing to create a new society and a new world, and the dream that we're all striving towards. But the first step to be able to step up in vibration and to fully awaken is to take responsibility and take all of our power back. Okay, this thing happened. I don't know why it happened. A lot of times we don't know. In my experience, the darkest dark is the lightest light. The thing that smashes us open and hurts us and makes us small and shrinks us and it makes us into addiction or codependence or whatever is the very thing that squashes us so much that eventually we can rise up and pop open and find new heights of love, of new excitement, of human existence. So we're now going through this. It's pretty funny. I know Neptune's watching, but I'm watching the number of people. It just bounces up and down, even though other people are watching. It's playing with us. So Facebook, fuck you. Anyways, so we're now in this stage of deep, deep, deep self-responsibility. And if we don't take self-responsibility, nobody's going to give it to us because it's a choice. So sit with that inner child. Start talking to them. Start loving yourself. And I'm going to tell you right now, the other important thing about self-responsibility is self-love. Until we can love ourselves fully and selfishly love us, because in society it says don't be selfish, don't worry about yourself, please everybody. It's the first thing that kills us. So selfishly love yourself, create strong boundaries, step away from people. Anybody that's using you or taking too much or not giving in return or whatever are people that are no longer serving us, and we're learning our self-responsibility. Okay, the only person that's going to give me mine is me if I ask. But we sit here and we hope and we think and we wonder and why, and then we sit and struggle and we all lose. So self-responsibility, sit with that word, go meditate with it, see how it feels in your body, start to take some self-responsibility. Don't be the victim of the world. Don't be the victim to the darkness. Don't be the victim to the cabal or whatever, because we deserve far better. And we love ourselves. And once we love ourselves, that love lights a fire in us, and that light shines out to other people, and other people get excited, and we're an example that they follow. Just like Neptune, he's going through some shit, and I'm going through some shit, and so many of the really light people are going through some shit, being homeless, without money, being attacked by government and taxation and all this shit. Well, fuck all that shit, because that's part of the illusion. There's another live I did yesterday on navigating the illusion. Go take a look at it. This will get us through. This is the stuff that we need to share with other people, and it will open us. And then we take our power back and our light back, and then we give that example to other. Pardon me, my brother's phoning me, and we're the change, and it's beautiful, and we need it. So, oh yeah, he's saying they're banning people like us. Yeah, it's insane. So, I love you all. If this resonates, send it on to somebody else, and let's get the ball rolling, because this is the only way is to speak truthfully about this stuff. Love you, Neptune, and love you, anybody else that's watching. You have a great day, and let's get this party started, because I'm tired, and I know we all are. So, love you. Thank you for your work. Have a great day. See you soon.